Deep in the Mid-Rim on the icy world of Khorne, Jedi Generals Plo Koon and Kit Fisto, along with Commander Wolffe, are sent to destroy a Separatist military base, which was defended by a horrific and deadly weather control station, which has created the worst storm on the planet in decades. Unfortunately, during the mission, one Republic commanding officer is confronted by the Dark Apprentice of Count Dooku, Asajj Ventress, and soon after falls into a deep panic, leaving Commander Wolffe as the one to step up and take charge of the clone forces. And yes, this is the same man that Darth Vader force-choked to death in The Empire Strikes Back, Kendall Ozzel. So before we dive into it, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome Star Wars lore content. The story begins in the midst of the Battle of Khorne, where the Separatists have constructed an outpost in the Kafiri mountain ranges on the planet. They have placed a disastrous weather control station at the top of their base, allowing them to create deadly storms in order to protect the area from advancing Republic forces. This is also the same technology that would later go on to be used by Emperor Palpatine after his death in the horrific Operation Cinder, which attempted to completely destroy many Imperial worlds using weather control satellites, because Palpatine believed that if the Empire could not protect its Emperor, then it did not deserve to exist. Following this, the leader of the Separatist forces on the planet, Warlord Unger Gaut, contacts his technician Vilpu Nag, informing him that a small Jedi strike force is on its way to destroy the weather station. In order to help the weather technicians to protect the station, he has dispatched Count Dooku's dark assassin, Asajj Ventress, along with a unit of commando droids to eliminate the Jedi strike force. Gaut then orders his weather technician to generate a massive storm large enough to kill the Jedi, despite the fact that Ventress would also be killed. The engineer isn't too happy with having to kill one of their own, Ventress, but Gaut quickly snaps back at him and says that if that makes him uncomfortable, then he should start getting used to having less protection against the Jedi Masters. After that, we cut straight back to Plo Koon, where he tells Master Fisto that the storm is intensifying very quickly, and that he can sense that the enemy knows the Jedi are on their way. Despite this, Fisto remains confident in the mission and soon after makes his way to the edge of the mountain, where he is able to spot the weather control station. Soon after, Plo Koon finally makes it up to the ledge with Kit Fisto, and Fisto jokingly says, "Glad you could join us, Master Plo. This must be difficult for someone of your age." Plo Koon sarcastically responds to this by saying, "And what age might that be?" As the two Jedi Masters and their clone troopers continue making their way across the icy ledge of the mountain, they notice that the storm is getting even worse than it already is, but before they can complain too much, a shadowy figure leaps out from above them, ambushing Plo Koon. Luckily, Plo's reflexes are far too quick to be caught off guard by this, leading him to lock his blue lightsaber with Ventress's unique double-curved red blade. As Ventress focuses on General Plo, her commando droids leap down from the same ledge and ambush the clone troopers of the 41st Special Operations Division before Kit Fisto orders Captain Sharp to hold them off. The clone troopers of the 41st valiantly fight back against the vicious commando droids, and while they do this, Kit Fisto and Plo Koon team up to take on Ventress. The two demand that Ventress surrender immediately, as she is outnumbered, but she refuses, leaping away from them and using the Force to pull an avalanche of snow down on the two Jedi and their clone troopers. After she does this, she inspects the helmet of a clone trooper from the 41st Special Ops Division buried in the snow, believing that her plan has succeeded. Following this, we cut to Clone Trooper Comet and his brothers working hard to break their way out of a holding cell after they were captured by Ventress. The clones and their commanding officer, Major Ozzel, were interrogated by Ventress, where the weak-minded Major revealed the Republic's battle strategy and told Ventress that the Jedi were targeting the weather control station. This obviously infuriated the clone troopers, leading them to be extremely angry with their Major. Ozzel tries to defend his actions, saying that he revealed the information to Ventress in order to save the lives of the clone troopers, but Commander Wolffe does not buy this, knowing that he only did it to save his own life. And thanks to that decision, the Jedi Generals and Wolffe's brothers are now in grave danger. Ozzel then threatens Wolffe, telling him that he has friends in high places, obviously talking about Palpatine, but the clone troopers brush this off and move out of their cell after breaking it open. Obviously, Ozzel treats his clones horribly and has no respect for them, believing that they are expendable, pretty much the opposite to Plo Koon. So make sure you let me know after you finish the story, do you think Vader was right to kill Ozzel for his mistake in The Empire Strikes Back? Especially after seeing how he treats his clones, and knowing that his incompetence definitely goes way back, all the way back to the Clone Wars. Moments later, they steal an armored assault tank and begin storming the hallways of the Agrasite processing facility, leading the B-1 battle droid defense forces there to flail around in a panic. The cowardly Major Ozzel then declares to his men that we're not going to survive, but the clone troopers stay focused and ask Ozzel to man the guns. As this is happening, the commando droid who was overseeing the facility orders his units to sound the alarm and make contact with Ventress. As Ventress is inspecting more buried clone bodies, she sees a hand moving below the snow, but before the brave soldier can pull himself up, she impales his hand with her glowing red blade, ensuring that he will die under the snow. Immediately after this, the B-1 battle droid makes contact with Ventress through hologram and tells her about the situation with the escaping clone troopers, and she is of course furious and begins to return to the processing center. Before she leaves, however, she orders her squad of commando droids to search for and kill any survivors they come across. As Ventress zooms off into the distance, one clone trooper rises from the snow, firing on the commando droids before Kit Fisto and the other men join him in quickly destroying Ventress's squad of commandos. As they do this, the Jedi then reveal that they used the Force to create a pocket under the snow which saved the lives of the clone troopers. Unfortunately, however, Master Plo has broken his arm, and the 41st has lost the troopers Sten, Deadeye, Blunt, and Jark. Even worse, the blast charges that they were going to use to destroy the weather station are missing. Kit Fisto then tells his men that under his command, they may die, but they will never die needlessly. Soon after, the group are swarmed by massive ice worms called the Alida, which the natives ride inside of to travel the mountains. The Jedi and the clones then enter the worms, awaiting transport to somewhere near the weather control station. Meanwhile, Ozzel and his clones are bursting through the droid defense forces, leading him to order his clones to move away from the area through a tiny gap. The troopers protest this because they have the droids on the defensive, but Ozzel firmly warns them that he is still in command, ensuring that they leave the area. As Ventress finally arrives at the weather control station, the ice worms deliver the Jedi and their men to a nearby mountain, but they are unable to destroy the station because they lost the blast charges in the avalanche. Plo Koon suggests that there is a way to use the enemy's weapon against itself to destroy this location. Captain Sharp is confused by this, asking, "But sir, aren't we standing on this location?" To which Plo Koon hilariously responds, "Very perceptive, Captain." After the realization washes over him, Sharp simply says, "I like it. There's hope for you Jedi yet," realizing that they are attempting to direct the storm over the control station, making it destroy itself. Cutting back to Ozzel and Wolf, his other men welcome them back, believing that they were dead, before he immediately demands that they get off the surface and return to orbit. Commander Wolf suggests that they contact the Jedi first, but Ozzel brushes this off and tells him harshly that the Jedi are dead. "You can join me in winning this battle or mourn the dead and the end of your career." Yeah, Ozzel is not the best leader at all. Immediately following this, the droid forces begin plowing towards the clone troopers with their tanks and vehicles, firing on them and leading Ozzel into a massive panic. Being very scared, Ozzel demands to know where the heavy armor is, but Wolf tells him that it was destroyed in the first offensive. At this point, the cowardly dumb officer simply admits that he has no idea what to do, before asking Commander Wolf, "What do we do?" This leads Commander Wolf to grab Ozzel and order his men to fall back to the transports. While this is happening, Sharp and Fixer are able to hack into the weather control systems, moving the storm right on top of the station, immediately destroying it into a large fireball. Back with Ozzel and Wolf, Ventress is slicing clone troopers in half, absolutely decimating their forces, leading Ozzel to sheepishly call for a surrender, but he doesn't have the guts to surrender and tell Ventress himself. Yeah, this is absolutely horrendous from a commanding officer. Ozzel demands that Wolf call out their surrender to Ventress, but he simply tells him, "Tell her yourself, sir." Finally, Republic reinforcements arrive from orbit, bailing out Ozzel's men just in the nick of time and leading Ventress to a full retreat. As this happens, Ozzel arrogantly says, "At least someone around here knows how to fight," and goes even further saying, "I'd say my plan worked flawlessly. Commander, relay my congratulations to the Jedi, if they're still alive." Plo Koon thankfully does manage to respond to this, and is very glad to hear that Wolf is still alive and well. Unfortunately, their task is not complete, and they still must recapture the Argosite processing station, where the weather control tower was placed on top of. And that is all covered in part 2 of this comic, which you can watch by clicking on screen now. This is also the event where Commander Wolf loses his eye, so make sure to check that out. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.